Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to part 4 of Dynasty Warriors 9. In this episode, I might as well try to show off the fast travel. I'm not going to assassinate Dong Zhuo yet because, believe it or not, there's actually missions tied to assassinate Dong Zhuo, which is basically all the things I'm about to cover as soon as I get to a town. For you see, all the missions are going to do is just show you how things work. I'll try to bring in a little bit more detail to the best of my memory. Because yes, I have played 1,000 hours of this game. And by the way, there's a glitch where it repeatedly goes to 1,000 and it doesn't go any higher than that. Hey, I thought the game was patched, but okay. Nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, I thought I made it to an actual town, but this is a castle, so I don't think I see a stable here. You can tell the difference between towns, villages, castles, and forts. The castles are bigger. The forts are bigger. I mean, the forts are smaller. The towns, they may be big, but unfortunately, they have castle walls around them. The villages, they're small little huts. They don't have any shops save for maybe a trader or some sort of merchant walking about. That's the only difference. And now that I'm in the actual vicinity of a town, there's also a hideaway. Hideaways is going to be the main thing that you're going to be going to for several reasons. Seeing as how there's no main menu, there is actually a main menu, but there's no other main menu that you can normally use at around this time. Because you'll end up getting some new stuff along the way and crafting materials. You can come here and craft whatever you have the scroll for, provided you have the materials. You can also use this to get some items left over by your friends, and you will get items left over provided you actually have friends. By the way, you can also cook your meals here. This is the new thing in Dynasty Warriors 9. You can actually cook your meals either here or by a campfire or by the tea house, which I'll show off about the tea house later. I am cooking roasted meat. I need to find some more grain, which probably will be in the outskirts of China somewhere. But you can call over whoever you want that's available at the time. Because right now, there's only a limited amount of officers you can hang out with. And among them is not going to be Dong Zhuo. So you can now hang out with So Song. And Zhuo Song will actually show off the new update for whenever you hang out with a new friend. By the way, that new update is going to be, as you can see, look at his clothes, challenging him, or at least doing a task or a favor for him, in order to unlock a new outfit that he'll actually wear in battle. Primarily the civilian clothes that he's wearing instead of the current armor that he's known for. And I'm just going to end him quickly because he won't even have a chance.
I will never forget this. Here you go.
So after sparring with him in the most glitched out way, the informal clothes for Zhuo Song, which basically is the kimono that he's wearing right now, is going to be unlocked. And in order for you to max out Zhuo Song, and by the way, I'm sorry if I'm subjecting you to his monotone voice, in order for you to actually max out Zhuo Song, you just gotta repeatedly visit the hideaway until he's maxed. I'm not gonna do that because, yeah, it's nice to get items at the exact same time, and I'm about to do that with every single officer. And believe it or not, that's not an achievement. What is an achievement? Eating all the food. And also the dilettante. Those are the only 2 achievements left. I kid you not. And then I would pretty much platinum this game. Yes, this is the closest I've ever platinumed a game in an Xbox One console. No, actually, no. This is the closest I've platinumed a game in Xbox One. I think I platinumed Dynasty Warriors 6 Empires for the Xbox 360 and also The Godfather 2. What can I say? But what I'm looking at right now is all of the themes. Now, the themes you can change for the Hideaway. You can change the themes for battle. You could also change the themes for the field. And they have old school Dynasty Warriors tracks because they weren't really confident in the soundtracks in this game. And the soundtracks in this game can be repetitive and bland, so it's a nice change of pace to actually have all the old school songs that everybody know and love so much. Particularly some of the songs from Yi Ling, which is basically from Dynasty Warriors 4.
Did you think
that song right there was one of the best songs in Dynasty Warriors 4, and it's one of the more available. No, it's one of the available soundtracks. They also have some from 7. They have some from 8. Quite frankly, having some themes from 7 is absolutely fantastic. Let's see how much I've ranked him up. He's about 34%, and I've only paid 2 visits to the guy. See, it's easy to max him out. I needed to actually go out for a far off distance instead of just come back in. But still,
you think I was always running around?
If I had completely maxed him out, he would drop off supplies. But at the end of the day, I can hang out here for as long as I like, and even sleep and speed up time. And by the way, sleeping will actually restore your health and your stamina. I don't know about Musou, but it will restore your health and stamina. No, food will actually either increase your Musou's power or give you strength bonuses, attack bonuses, limit the amount of stamina that's drained. So yes, we're gonna go on ahead and go into a shop now, or at least show off the shops. And mostly when you come to towns, civilians also talk smack about the events that's happening. Primarily, they have nothing nice to say or something pleasant to say until the situation goes sour. First things first, though, we're going to change out this generic horse. And for good reason. I don't want to go to photo mode. Why am I in photo mode? Oh yeah, that's right. That's also a new update, by the way. So, you can actually go to photo mode, take yourself a picture while having an emote, and add some, and you can actually add some funny random things to it. Honestly, I didn't think about making it a thumbnail. I should if you want me to. I mean, that would also require me blowing a lot of Hebe Chuans on emotes. But nonetheless, the stable is not only where you're going to find all your horses, but it's also going to be where you find all the wild animals you captured. And you're going to have to train your animals and make sure that they survive long enough for them to level. And the more they level, the more powerful they become. Here's the thing though, if they die, well, guess what? They're gone for good, and you're going to have to shoot another animal in the ass with a tranquilizer arrow. I'm not joking, you really have to. It's their most vulnerable spot. But we're going to put the bear back into the animal cage, because right now we don't need it. What we got is... Actually, what we needed is what we got right here, and that's Lu Bu's horse. Red Hare, and yes, Liu Bei will be riding Red Hare. But before we do, we've got other places to go and other places to be. I had to take a break for a little bit because of the fact that the controller is acting up. Look on the bright side, it stopped the whistling. So now I am able to call my horse with the L trigger like I'm supposed to instead of with the right bumper. Or the right thumbstick, sorry.
Welcome.
By the way, this is the shop. You could craft items. I could craft some ultimate bait. I need ultimate bait. Primarily for what I have planned for. I'm going to get about 5 of them, so that way I'll have them on already. But I need ultimate bait primarily for what I have planned after we're done with this chapter.
Oh, are you a hunter?
Now then,
looks like you've caught yourself.
This is the dilettante.
Quarry.
The dilettante will give you items, or at least
I do like to
keep.
look at what others
Will
bring
give you
back.
items as you
Show me
collect.
what you catch and
Okay,
all the
if you
work
make some.
do.
Okay, let me try this again. The dilettante will give you items
hello,
depending on
Ken.
how many
How are things with you?
dilettante points you have. I maxed him out, and by the way, there is an achievement for maxing out the dilettante in one go, and I already did. I ended up getting 25,000 points. No, yeah, 25,000 points just so I can max out the dilettante and get that achievement. I have not gotten that achievement yet. Even worse, now they've made it to where there's hunter points that you could actually spend on, or actually use as currency to get things like arrows, including exploding arrows. Oh yes, I want exploding arrows. And they also have it to where you can get some items for synthesis. And then there's the coin collector. This is where you're going to get all of your legendary or epic items. Or should I say epic weapons. Not to mention, this is also where you're going to get all your synthesis items, the emotes. This is also where you're going to get items for your hideaway. This is going to be where you get a plethora of things that you normally wouldn't get anywhere else. But getting all of the EX skills, or should I say the EX weapons, as well as all the weapons, is a good idea. Because you never know when you start. And more importantly, you might want to get enough scrolls so that way you'll be able to make these weapons. Once you have the scrolls and once you have the material, you'll have probably the best weapons in the game offhand. And also they have DLC weapons. In case you're wondering where these claws are, that's DLC. That's Zhang He's weapon that they, for the sake of realness, took out but implemented in as actual DLC. Okay, I'll give Jim Sterling that he was right that they were going to do that. Oh, and speaking of something that's kind of, well, obligatory but also traditional, Koei had announced yet another Koei game. Aside from Scramble Phantom Strikers that came out just recently. And the game in question, aside from also Dynasty Warriors 9, Empires, that game is Samurai Warriors 5. So yes, Koei now knows how to count to 5 with Samurai Warriors. Because it was really Samurai Warriors 1, then Extreme Legends, then 2 Extreme Legends, then Empires, and then the handheld games, and then 3... And then 3 special on the PS2, the PS3, and Empires on the PS3, both of which, by the way, are Japan exclusive. And then any games from the handhelds based on that. And then 4 and then for 2, and then Empires, then
Got some great stuff here.
Samurai Warriors, Legend of Sonata, I do believe. And then afterwards, 5 is now a thing. By the way, Buddhist man, I have DLC. Yes, I know it's terrible. I said I wasn't going to get it, I ended up getting it anyway. I'm a hypocrite. Buddhist man. But whatever the case, folks, I ended up getting a lot of stuff from the DLC, and if you happen to download download items from the DLC, that's where you're going to get it, and that's what the DLC is for.
I appreciate your business.
So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, the only thing that's left is the tea house, which basically serves as the same thing as your stove, and I do believe that would be practically all for this town. There is the thing about fishing, but at the same time, I don't have enough ultimate bait. I have enough ultimate bait, but I'm gonna also need some other type of bait later on.
Hey, get on in here.
This is where you're going to craft synthesized items for your accessories, but not to mention, this is where you're going to craft scrolls for all the accessories needed, the gems, and more importantly, the weapons. This is everything that you need to craft, or at least to strive to get to craft. Most of these aren't even finished yet. And that's because of the fact that I didn't get the scrolls of most of the weapons. Or most of the items. Excuse me one second. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back.
Hey,
Sorry
get on
about
in
that.
here.
Let's see. We can actually go back and craft some weapons. Might as well craft some of those new stuff that we got. And for the record, you can also craft gems too. Let's see. That's the leopard claws. I'm going to craft that. There is a difference between a leopard claws and a leopard claws EX. The EX actually has more power than the original leopard claws, and if you happen to see all of the EX weapons, the EX weapons are the ones you want because that's the legendary weapons. And yes, even the special weapons that you are awarded throughout the updates, because there is actually party streamers that you are awarded with, and I think a special spear too. You're awarded with those because that's what came in with the update. I'll probably show those off at a later date if I can remember if I still have them or not. But one thing is for sure, now we can actually go to Luoyang, because that's where the string of missions is going to start. And by the way, those strings of missions is literally almost everything we are doing. And everything I just showed off. And for the record, I forgot to mention something about this stable too. One more thing. Any horses you unlock will show up in the stable. You gotta buy them first, and then add them to your stable, and then get them out and level them. So on that note, we are going to go on ahead and let's see. I may have to get some. I may have to actually try to fish for some bait, but I'm just checking to see if I need to switch out any items for right now. Because the moment we go into Luoyang, we're going to end up into a mission. We're going to be greeted by somebody. Oh, and by the way, the cutscene may look a little bit short. That's because past me forgot to pause through the cutscenes. I mean, this happens at least this part, and I think part 5, if I'm not mistaken. And I forgot to pause through the cutscenes. And because I didn't, I missed out on dialogue when upload does its normal thing. So talk to Wang Yun to start the mission.
You are Master Liu Bei. Yes, I have a task that would be perfect for a brave warrior such as yourself. I haven't been able to find anyone capable of it yet, but I feel like us meeting here is somehow fated. Will you listen to what I have to say? Oh, thank you so much. This is a very delicate matter. Could you come a little closer? The fact of the matter is that there is a small group of us who have put in motion a secret plan to eliminate a certain individual. The man who has taken on the noble duty of carrying out this plan is none other than the famed warrior Master Cao Cao. We gave him a sword and sent him off to Luoyang, but the problem is, he hasn't come back. That's where you come in. We'd like you to sneak into Luoyang and see what's going on. I could go myself, but the castle there has become a dangerous place recently. Depending on Lord Dong Zhuo's moods, innocent bystanders can be beheaded with barely a moment's notice. It's not really the place for a weak old man like myself anymore. It will be dangerous, but will you accept this mission to go inside the castle at Luoyang and find Master Cao Cao? Please, we are all counting on you.
Hey, you know almost everything we just showed off? Well, guess what's now missions? The only thing I didn't show off was the hunting and the fishing. That's the only thing. But that's primarily what we're going to be doing. There we go. And by the way, in case you're wondering how I scaled up that wall, the right bumper or the R1 button is going to be your grappling hook. And I've already showed off scaling walls with the yellow turbines. And oops, I kind of got myself caught here. What I don't want to do is start the assassination mission. However, I can do this. You can talk to Diao Chan and have her to become your friend.
Let us dance together.
And for the record, the outfit that she's wearing is from the Day 1 DLC, which you now have to pay for. And by the way, the Day 1 DLC also would have like some of the girls in mini skirts. They have Guan Yin Ping in booty shorts, and I do believe let me see who else. They also have them all with like very skimpy mini skirts, but it's not as bad as what I mean. It's not as like fan servicey as you think. Okay, maybe Wulin Chi is fan servicey, but everyone else not so much. It looked like they just removed some of the textures from their default Dynasty Warriors 9 outfits and made them look like bathing suits. And you get that, by the way, Day 1, along with an alternate outfit for Xiao Yun, if I'm not mistaken. And that's from pre-ordering the game Day 1. Huge mistake. Have I not learned? Yes, and I was also one of the idiots that accidentally bought... No, not accidentally, more along the lines of bought into the hype of Cyberpunk. That didn't turn out well. Now then, the first mission is to basically talk to all the shopkeepers. Guess what I just did not too long ago? Although this is more of a mission. You can just exit out, and sometimes you have to talk to the shopkeeper, sometimes you don't. The dilettante will explain what they are if you haven't already visited them the first time.
Oh, hello again.
There's also the fact that you can... This is basically for first-time players. These missions here, if you start out with Liu Bei or Sun Jian or
appreciate your
South
business.
Sao, or either Sunjian's, actually no, Sunjian's sons don't show up until
again.
chapter 3. Meanwhile, like South Sao and his cousins Xiahou Dun and Xiahou Yuan, who both
Welcome.
show up in chapter 1,
Do
or
please
Guan
come
Yu and
again.
Shang Fei, who both show up in chapter 1. You could use this
Need a
to
horse?
actually start you off.
I'll be
And
supporting you.
as you go through chapters, you unlock people to fight alongside you. Some may not unlock now, but they will unlock after chapter 2. Some will unlock in chapter 3. Some will unlock in chapter 4, and so on and so on and so on. One thing is perfectly clear. While they are unlocked,
We can with every area we take.
they're not available to be friends after the time that they're designated to die, or no longer have any role in the actual Romance of the Three Kingdoms. So we've got ourselves more missions to go through, and we're going to do just that. And it seems we're going to be going on sightseeings, I think. So what sightseeing is basically like going to a war point. Sightseeings are going to give you experience. A lot of things in this game is going to give you experience. And that wolf charm I ended up upgrading to give you 10% experience, and also gives me 11% strength. That's what I just did. The fact that I'm going to get 11% more experience points from doing all of these missions is pretty much going to make things a lot easier. Where did my horse go? Where the hell is my horse? You know what? I'll just get away from the bridge, because Luoyang has some rivers, and horses will end up falling into the rivers and wander around while you're trying to call them to your side. And that's something that has not been fixed in the game. Oh yeah, and for the record, there are treasures lying about in places that are either hard to reach or easy to find. In this case, it's easy to find. By the way, you can notice the rarity of the items that you find by just simply taking a good look at the color. Like, if they're white, it's uncommon. If they're yellow, it's epic. If it's green, it's common. I think it's...
Let us dance together.
No, I think yellow is... No, purple is legendary. Yellow is epic. I do believe blue is uncommon. I think that's how it works. Or blue is rare. Whatever the case, there's going to be a reason why I'm getting Ultimate Bait, like I said earlier, because of the fact that Wait, I'm not going to get Ultimate Bait. But I'll explain more of that when we actually go fishing. Actually, we are going to go fishing right about now, aren't we? No. We're going to a tourist spot. Never mind. And we're going to have to... Yeah, we're going to have to use the fast travel, because that'll make things a lot easier. But there is a reason that we're going to be fishing after we're done with Chapter 2, because there's a lot, and I repeat, a lot of grinding you can do, provided you actually have a lot of ultimate bait or insect bait. And it'll get you a lot of money to buy most, if not all, of the hideaways in the game, if not buying any of the items in the game. But now that we're here in this tourist spot, let's talk to this guy here, and then we're going to be going straight to the next tourist spot, which just so, or scenic spot, I think, which just so happened to be in the mountains. Now, the whole entire point of Assassinate Dong Zhuo is to try to find South Sao. We'll worry about that in part 5. But there are some side missions that, by the way, will lower how strong the enemies are. And why am I on auto run? This game, seriously. Anyway, now that I've stopped myself from being on auto run, let's go on ahead and go to the mountains. And for the record, my controller had ended up, stopping for a little bit. Now, if I could go and find some grain, that would be nice, because I would have more meat to cook. And for the record, if I hadn't already activated that waypoint when I did this mission the first time, that waypoint would have been activated so that all you have to do is just climb up. This is basically, again, a tutorial mission. I mean, we kinda have to do these in order to weaken the enemy. If I would have just went in and just went after Cao Cao, it would have been a tougher challenge. Now then, let's climb up a little bit more. And we're gonna have to find the other way, fool. Don't go there, the other way.
Capture one of those unsightly positions. Follow me.
Let's see, we're going to climb up here. Notice all the climbable walls have a chain on them. So you'll be trying to go to mountains and thinking you're going to climb on them. No, only the ones with the chains. Not every mountain surface is climbable. Let's see. This one right here. Yes, I'm spending the part climbing a mountain. It's a mission and it's going to get me experience points. The more experience points, the better. And the funny thing is, you could go into New Game Plus. Oh wait, that's the other achievement! I haven't had nobody at max health. No, I didn't have any of my warriors at max level. I think Cao Cao's the closest of being at max level, so that's the thing. And due to the update, the max level used to be at 90, now it's at 99 if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I managed to make it to the top of the mountain! There are treasures here, and by the way, there is also a waypoint here. But there's no need for that. We're gonna have to jump down. We're not climbing all the way back down, so I guess we could jump down. I wonder if we take fall damage here. You think that, but no. No, you don't. It just looks cool that you're jumping down from a 50-story mountain all the way to the ground unscathed. I said unscathed. Yep. Nailed the landing. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be finishing up the rest of the missions for Assassinate the Tyrant, and then we're going to try to assassinate the Tyrant in Part 5. This is RVman985. Peace out.